Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? The Saints have signed Josh Black. They've signed a player and waived a player. So offensive lineman Eric Wilson out of Penn State, they waived him. He was the undrafted rookie free agent. Interestingly enough, so it's two Eric Wilsons. There was the undrafted rookie offensive lineman out of Penn State, Eric Wilson, and then the free agent linebacker, Eric Wilson, from the Texans that they signed. So they were two Eric Wilsons. The offensive lineman's gone. The linebacker obviously is still here. But maybe of greater consequence is that the Saints have signed Josh Black. Josh Black, he put it on his Twitter feed as well. Josh Black played at Syracuse. Interestingly enough, he was a 6-year college football player. He had a medical hardship year, and then he had the COVID year. He had the medical hardship because he hurt his knee back in 2017 when Syracuse played at LSU. He was injured in that game in Baton Rouge and got a medical hardship because of that season. I like what they've done with Josh Black. I like their idea here. He's 6'3", 290. When you go read through his bio and his career at Syracuse, he was a starter for each of the last 3 seasons, 2 of which he started at nose tackle. So they played different defenses there. They played a 3-4 and a 4-3. He was starting at nose tackle. So he's played on the interior of a 3-man front, and he's also played at defensive end. So you're talking about a guy that can be a space eater, even at 6'3", 290. I get it. He's not your prototypical nose tackle. But he can be a space eater, run stuffer, but he's also rushed the passer from the interior and the edge. Think about what the Saints under Dennis Allen have done in cross-training their defensive linemen. We've seen Cam Jordan at times slide in and play tackle, and you have edge rushers on the field. We've seen Marcus Davenport play inside and out. Peyton Turner was drafted with that in mind as well. He played both end and tackle at Houston, and that was the idea with him coming into New Orleans. We've seen Carl Granderson play that role. So I like the fact that the Saints are getting these more versatile defensive linemen that can play both inside and out. So if you get into a situation where you want 3 or 4 pass rushers on the field at the same time with their hand in the dirt, you can do that. If you want guys that can be run stuffers that can also get up the field, you can do that as well. So that's the idea here. Now listen, Josh Black has a long way to go to make the team. I mean, he did have a significant injury in college, although that was back in 2017. He started each of the last 3 years. But you have a veteran guy who's a really good team guy who's played a ton of football. He started 48 games at Syracuse. So he's a veteran dude who was very productive in his college career, played multiple positions. And the Saints have had a lot of success with undrafted free agent defensive linemen. I mean, Shy Tuttle is the most recent. You know, when they took him as an undrafted free agent out of Tennessee, not only did he make the team, he became a starter last year. I mean, especially with Onyemata out, Shy Tuttle, his emergence was critical. I could say the same about Malcolm Roach, a Baton Rouge guy who played at Texas. Saints signed him as an undrafted free agent, made the team, and he's actually played significant snaps for them. You can go back even further and talk about a guy like Bobby Richardson, who was an undrafted free agent out of Indiana who became a starter. Now, that defense was atrocious, and he didn't even make the team the next year, which is more of a commentary on the level of talent they had. But still, they found a way, and they've had a really good eye for undrafted free agents at defensive line, and specifically at defensive tackle. I still think that the Saints are going to need to add a starter at defensive tackle. They're going to have to go into this free agency cycle, and they've got about $9 million in free cap space right now. I'm looking at Spotrac as we speak, and they've got about $9 million in cap space after the Tyron and Jarvis deals. And when you look at the free agent defensive linemen that are available, there are some names that you would absolutely recognize. And it will be very interesting to see, which of these guys might be available and what type of deal they may want. But what's clear is the market's dried up for a lot of guys. Just like it did with Tyron and Jarvis, that they thought they'd get better deals, and the market just wasn't there. And the same may be true here. I mean, Ndamukong Suh's 35 years old, but does he have enough gas left in the tank to be a rotational piece for you? Maybe. I mean, Eddie Goldman's available, Brandon Williams, Starla Tulele, who We know under Sean Payton, the Saints loved NFC South guys. And there's countless examples of bringing guys from the South, from Curtis Lofton to Jameis Winston and Kurt Coleman and so many others. Like Star Lotulelei played a lot of football for the Carolina Panthers. That could be an option. I mean, it's funny to say, but Tyler Davison's a guy who the Saints drafted. He walked in free agency to Atlanta, but he's still been a productive interior player. Sheldon Richardson, who the Saints tried to sign a couple of years ago from the Jets before he signed with Minnesota, he's available. So there are guys that have been productive NFL starters that are still out there right now. We talked about Gerald McCoy as well, as the Saints try to sign him, a guy who was with Tampa, most recently with the Raiders. I guess my point is, there's really, I feel there's two spots left where the Saints have got to add veterans and starting caliber players. One is running back, the other is defensive tackle. Now, the asterisk with running back is Abram Smith. If Abram Smith out of Baylor becomes a dude, cool, you could be good there. But I'd still feel better if you went into camp with a guy who's been an NFL starter. And we've talked about Darrell Williams, and he could be a piece there. But defensive line is the other. You've got the cap space. There's enough guys who have been productive players in this league that you could get on a bargain basement NFL veteran deal and give them an opportunity to come in and play for a season and solidify that spot until you can maybe address it next year in the draft or free agency. So defensive line is going to be fascinating to watch. You drafted the defensive lineman out of Air Force as well. It's going to be fascinating to watch that position group coming up in training camp for the Saints, see who is going to make the roster and who are going to be your contributing pieces there on the interior of the defensive line. Maybe Josh Black out of Syracuse could be the next undrafted free agent that we're talking about. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.